Hello. As you see, we are kind of progressing a bit in building our community, in meeting with you every week. We are here to listen to your issues, listen to your questions, collect our answers, and then record and give them back to you. So we are here to fulfill our commitment, to fulfill our promise, and to see you guys again. Thank you, especially to those who have been with us since the beginning. We are seeing our Wednesday community grow from 4 people to 15 last week. But before we go on to the session, I owe you answers to the last week's questions. First question comes from Andrew Davis. Will there be a future use of ADS for a Visa card like with Binance? We know exactly where you're coming from, and this is something I think that each and every crypto user is dreaming of, to just use their returns or dividends or staking rewards to pay for their everyday items. This is, however, a very complicated process because on one hand, you can be present on centralized exchanges such as Coinbase, where you can get your own Visa card. The other option is to have a card service connected to the ramping service where you can, off-ramp crypto into your fiat currency and pay in your local grocery store. But this is a very complicated, complex issue, and we don't want to be to promise you today that it will happen tomorrow or the next week. The second question is very much connected to the first one. Will there be a fiat ramp to pay for the ads on the ad server? The option is already there. We do realize, as we are working on the new UX and the new user interface for our website, the feature will be much more visible. But for now, if you go to adshares.net/token, you will see exactly where you can buy ADS with crypto, or you can buy ADS directly with your fiat currency. So this is quite awesome. And then with a couple of clicks, you can deposit these funds from your wallet to your ad server account, and then off you go. You're free to develop your own media presence and your own campaigns. Another question comes from our longtime friend, Dan Jones 201, and he's asking, is there any plan for Twitter user to monetize their account with Adshares? And the answer again is yes. The Adshare protocol enables direct deals, direct transactions between any advertiser and any kind of publisher or creator. So if an influencer, if a Twitter user is a kind of influencer, yes, they can be monetized for their use of hashtags, for their use of brand mentions, or even quality of the creative they upload. So the system is already there. So far, it only works with Twitter, but we are developing new functions and trying to develop interfaces so we can actually monitor other social media such as Facebook or Instagram or other personal feed media. And then we could just reward people who mention our company or your company or any for that matter. So yeah, the service is a test yet, so we can't say it's working. So far it works for our brand and on Twitter, but you can find it at social.adshares.net. Fourth question, how do Adshares get user data they use in their ads? First, we all know, and we all respect it very much, that in Web3 the level of privacy is something else entirely. Yeah, we know that there are no third-party cookies, that there are wallet numbers. So far, we have been trying to, as best as we can, to respect people's privacy and only target advertisements bought in the reach and frequency model. So if you're buying on cost per 1,000 basis, you don't need consumer data. You basically care about your ad reaching as many people as possible in a given time frame. And that's what we are using basically. Another way is to target users per region. It's based, of course, on IP analysis. So if you have a Dutch IP, you will be served. I mean, Dutch consumers can be served in the Netherlands using the Dutch language. So these are the basic targeting possibilities. But another thing that you can target ads specifically to MetaMask users or to specific addresses on MetaMask. So if you just imagine that another service might be created, right? One that will be analyzing people's transactions, one that will be analyzing the content of a wallet, and then will be just returning, creating different segments of car lovers, sport lovers, fashion lovers, or music lovers, or NFT lovers. So you see, the possibilities are great, but we as a protocol, we can only enable such activities, but basically we are seeking partners who want to do it with us. Another one, what is the plan of Adshares working with countries where crypto is not supported? This is a difficult question because if a country does not support crypto, we can only work with individuals. So you know that any individual who is smart enough to cover their own data, to retain their own privacy, and to use cryptocurrencies has full right and full possibility to access the Adshares ecosystem. But our role is, we are not an advocate for crypto adoption. I mean, we are, but this is not our main mission. Our main mission is to encourage crypto adoption in the advertising industry. So if there are countries that are not there yet, we will just have to sit and wait and see what happens. Next question comes from Crypto Degen Marketer, another longtime friend and observer. Will there be an ad block in the metaverse? And how will you avoid it? That's a smart question, and I would say, without much thinking, that we can easily assume that everything we know from today's advertising business will be there on blockchain. Because basically we are now in a period where everyone, media agencies want to do their media on blockchain. Ad agencies want to be paid on blockchain. So publishers want to, serve their ads over blockchain. And soon, the data-based marketing will also try to adapt blockchain. So we can only imagine that there will be an ad block, just like there is the basic attention token that, one helps you not see advertisements, the other helps you make money watching advertisements. So we see both models as very much viable, possible, but our role again is not to overcome, right? Our role as Adshares is not to fight people's privacy. Our role is to enable reaching those consumers who want to be reached with a relevant message in a relevant moment. This is all we are focusing on as an ad tech enabler, and we do not want to attack or manipulate people's privacy and try to serve our advertising where it is not desired. Okay, let's be fair. Now, another question comes from Chris. Getting major publishers like the big metaverses to go on board and for advertisers to use them is the biggest challenge. Yes, sir. It's basically for any startup like ours, this is the biggest challenge because simply the Google, Amazon, and social advertising or Google Display Networks still allows you to reach around 4 billion humans on planet Earth. And blockchain-based solutions such as Adshares have incomparably lower penetration of the market. But there is one advantage that we have that none of the incumbent companies have, which is only blockchain-based crypto protocols can access metaverses with their advertising. So for us, the main challenge is to get major publishers and major metaverses to get on board with us. And the other challenge is to get current publishers, publishing companies, media companies, and website owners, especially ones with huge reach, who serve, tens of millions of users, to start adapting blockchain for their needs, because this is basically our mutual common success. To show those companies how advertising in the metaverse, how using blockchain for advertising transactions can transform their business, I would say this is a major challenge, not just for Adshares, but for the whole industry, to start to realize how big are the challenges connected to blockchain and how to start using it to your advantage. Another one, why would a metaverse like Sandbox need you guys? They couldn't just sell ad space themselves? Of course they could. So Decentraland could build their own advertising network, Sandbox could build their own advertising network, Polka City can develop their own advertising network. Okay, but if you want to buy ads from Sandbox, you will pay in Sand, and if you want to get your ads from Decentraland, you will pay in Mana, and if you want to place your ads in Polka City, you will pay in Polk. So it's kind of so only a solution like Adshares is completely metaverse agnostic. Only our blockchain solution allows us to just seamlessly connect to all those worlds without needing to have 3 cryptocurrencies in your wallet and have to manage them. So this is like the major advantage of a solution like Adshares, which is blockchain based, has access to all the decentralized worlds, and requires zero knowledge. It requires literally zero knowledge, because you can either have consultants help you set up your campaign, or it is so intuitive that after 10 minutes of tutorial you will know exactly how to run your advertising campaign. So we think this is a huge advantage of a company like ours. Another question, how exactly does the Adshares token gain value through use? This is another potentially complicated but very logistically simple. Every advertising transaction, if you place your ad on the ad server and want to place it on a website, the system, the exchange system, the Adshares protocol will automatically charge you 1 per 1,000 for every transaction you will ever perform. So if you pay $100 to a publisher to place your ad, the system for the transaction, you could call it kind of a gas fee for the system, right? We charge 1 per 1,000, and then these portions are divided, and 80% goes back into the community. So if you own even one ADS and there is advertising traffic, you will get your portion of the 80% of the 1 pro mile. It's pretty easy if you have a bit of a mathematician mind, but basically the more transactions there will be, the more the network commission, the infrastructure community commission, and the more money each holder gets. So this is exactly how it works. The more ADS rotate in the system, the more transactions are being completed, the higher the value for each coin holder. 10th question, random question, how much time did it take for you to build Adshares? I love this question because for the last 23 years I have been watching different startups, and I would say we are going exactly head to head, if not a bit faster than any startup you can think of. I analyzed like a dozen of them, and from Airbnb to Bolt to Uber, they all take around 5 to 6 years from establishment to a major pivot. And Adshares has been established in 2017. That's where when the white paper, the blockchain, and the ICO took place. So we are exactly 5 years from that moment, and now waiting for a major shift in our identity, in our go-to-market strategy. So stick with us, please, because there are new announcements in the pipeline, literally as we speak. How the SDK of Adshares will be working. Basically, the software development kit is a way for any software developer to be able to understand, see the limits, licenses, and conditions, and be able to implement or build their own solutions using our software without the need to contact the company. This is basically how any SDK works, and we envision exactly the same for Adshares. So anyone who has the SDK knows exactly how the protocol works, and they can implement it for their own solutions, or how the ad server works, so they can implement their own ad server using their own skills and time, not having to wait for our consultants or to ask a living soul for help. So SDK help you understand, implement, change, and program everything by yourself, just like a decentralized protocol should. So this is something that will help us really become a decentralized protocol where everyone can just take them, build on them, and then as we approach DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization, will be getting more and more decentralized as we speak. Question number 12. Is there a way to track how many people have seen your ads? Yes. Our ad servers know exactly if a user approaches, even walks by a billboard in Decentraland, for example, the ad server knows the wallet number of this specific user, so we know exactly which advertising they have seen, in what coordinates, how many times, how many ads they saw in any given time period. Even the creatives that have been uploaded are seen there. So we can say we don't know the name, we don't know anything about the person, but we know very much about their wallet number, about their content, so we know vaguely who this person is. When will the ambassador program start? Another very good question. We are working tirelessly, because working on logistics, rewards, building the basic community, basic network of friends takes time, but we are fighting and clenching our fists and nails to be able to start in August, together with our major rebrand and I can say relaunch. So this is something that we plan and hope to be able to launch simultaneously. Another question, can you advertise non-blockchain related posts through Adshares? And can the not crypto related businesses advertise through your protocol? Of course. Any business on earth can set up, create their own advertising campaign, can use our ad servers. You don't even have to be a crypto insider, because we do provide such service. We do have people who, for the time being, right, at this point in time, we hope to change it and to make it automated, but there are people who will help you convert your currency and get your off the chain advertising on the chain and deliver it into the metaverse. There is absolutely no problem with that. Next question, how many crypto projects are using Adshares? This is a tricky question because it depends on what you ask about. Because ever since the ad servers are running, we served over 2,000 advertisers and over 2,000 campaigns. And we have reached over like 200 million people a month with the test ad network. If you think about companies who are integrated with Adshares, we do have physical integration with Decentraland, Cryptovoxels, Polka City, and we are working tirelessly to reach out and collaborate with the Sandbox. So for Polka City, for example, we are their default onboard advertising serving system. But when we talk about other companies, there aren't many, because we know we have three partners who use parts of our data or parts of our blockchain solutions for their solution, but it's not like they're working using Adshares, right? For the time being, the ones who use Adshares are external companies and metaverses. Very difficult question left for the end. Can anyone explain how can ADS process 1.4 million transactions per second in simpler words? I'm looking for simpler words to explain that, but basically, the existing blockchains are quite heavy. They have long account addresses. These account addresses are randomized. A lot of numbers and factors within the ecosystem are very complicated, so it takes time and electricity for the protocol to find the recipient, the sender, and to process the whole transaction. With Adshares, it's completely different, because if this is your Ethereum wallet address, this is your Adshares address. It's 3 times shorter and it's 3 times simpler. Our node addresses are not randomized, they are very much in order. The blockchain is very fast and light. It doesn't bother with creating smart contracts, because all it does is actually send money for the advertising placement. This makes it so simple that in the test environment it was possible to achieve 1.4 megahertz, and we can see that this is the main proof to promise to the market that Adshares can scale up to serve majority, if not the whole world's programmatic digital advertising business. 2 last questions. What is Adshares all about? Well, I love these questions, especially for the end, because if you have been with us all this time, you can see that Adshares is about the biggest change that has happened to digital advertising since RTB or since social media. This is the single most important change and the biggest transition in the history of advertising. To get advertising from current systems into blockchain, making it absolutely transparent, putting all the control into users and publishers' hands, and then making all the transactions transparent, putting hope and trust back into the system, this is what we are all about. But on the more technical level, we've built a whole sandbox, so to say. We have the blockchain you can test and try out. We have a protocol you can test and try out, and we have our own ad servers that you can just use to buy your campaigns. So we are creating a whole blockchain digital programmatic advertising ecosystem, and this is everything we are about. And now on to the last question. What is your plan to apply Adshares technology into other crypto projects? Basically, as we said, we have a huge revolution under our belt. We have ammunition, but we don't have the target and the army. So with our ambassadors, with our evangelists, with our friends, with our partners, co-workers, we want to teach the world how to use blockchain, and then just let it fly as a decentralized protocol, because basically what we want to do is for the world to recognize the possibility of our protocol and then just start building on it, building their own solution in their own time and make their own money using it. So good luck with that, and we hope you will become one of the people who will help Adshares fly ever higher. These are all questions for today, collected from the last 2 weeks of our live sessions. We hope you found it informative. There are chapters below this video. Do not forget to subscribe, because we will be posting more and more of them. So if you want to stay inside, in the loop, and know exactly what's happening at Adshares, stick with us, subscribe, push the little bell button to be notified when we publish something new. Thanks for today. We hope to see you very soon at our Discord live community session number 5. We have a little surprise for you today, because we might be streaming from a completely different place than what you're seeing around me right now. So we hope to see you there. And that's it for now. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.